that first week, that first week being high on the endorphins of having a child, having a baby, that's also a thing. Like
Hmm.
that's exactly what I think a lot of new dads go through. And I'm just kind of blown away by how, the broad strokes, obviously the details aren't the same, but the broad strokes are very similar. This like euphoria that you have, that like you have this new member of your family, that your unit has grown, your pack has grown a little bit, and how everything feels like it's just cloud nine, everything's rolling perfectly, there aren't any hiccups, no speed bumps or anything, and then it kind of starts unraveling. Like my son's almost 3 months, and he's doing great, knock on wood. He's very healthy, my wife is very healthy, but there's like a controlled chaos in our lives. Like I was telling you right before we started recording, like I'm not even in California right now. My wife and I are in Washington State visiting her parents and her family, and we brought the baby. It's been a week. He hasn't
Hmm.
had like a normal schedule, but we've been trying to keep it like regulated as best we can.
Yeah.
And like you just kind of roll with like this ocean of chaos as best you can, with him at the center of it, just trying to keep him like, grounded and with some sort of regularity. So he goes with the flow very well, but that idea of just living within the eye of the storm for so long, I think, is relatable for a lot of new dads. And
Yeah.
it seems like it's a little bit more of like an extreme situation, but because the way you described it was very when it rains it pours, right? Because you're just getting to know this person who has a personality, a history. She has her own experiences that she's bringing to the table, experiences that you might have maybe a very cursory understanding of, but not really an intimate understanding of. And at the same time, you're going through professional issues. And at the same time, you're, kind of taking away from the cup that is like your relationship with your wife. And so there's a lot that I feel like is worth diving into there. And I think probably the best place to start would be, how did you navigate keeping yourself, Carl Paoli, sane? And like, how did you water that plant and keep yourself like sane and balanced throughout all of those different changes?
I didn't.
Yes.
I just didn't. I mean, uh, I had so much anxiety. I cried very often. But what I learned to love was family therapy. I'm like, yes, family therapy is Tuesday. Let's go. This is the best. Let's make this happen. So family therapy was very, very helpful, at least for me. Nobody liked it but me. But it really was grounding for me. So that was one thing. The other thing was, I was already going down a very introspective path. So the moments of silence that existed in between the noise were times where I had these big, big revelations of, oh, what does it mean to be a human walking on this planet? Who am I in relationship to this person? Who am I in relationship to my wife now? What is this family unit? Where is it unfolding? Should I even think about that? And thankfully, I was still traveling. So when I was overseas or on a weekend trip, that gave me a lot of separation and perspective. And what used to drain me in traveling now was my chance to recoup. So that was when I was trying to restore, and I was always gearing up for the re-entry into the household. And every time, every day, I mean, it's kind of like with a baby. Every day is slightly new. It's just like, oh, look, he just made this little face. He just moved his hand in this way. Oh, he's grabbing me like this. Oh, I realized that if I soothe him in this way, he feels a little better. Oh, if we bathe him and then we bottle, it works better. Or bottle and then what? You start to just learn these small little things. And once we got to a place where we at least had a baseline of what to expect from a basic behavior, there I was able to plant my feet and say, okay, this is my role, and as long as I continue to come back to this, I can do some self-care. But it was not easy. It was something I did not think I was going to survive, because that was for the first time in my life. I really thought I understand why people want to end their lives, and the pain that exists in the world is so ginormous that it's unbearable to carry if you lean into it, or so I thought. So yeah, it was challenging, but somehow, with family and friends and a lot of patience and just these moments of clarity that came from all of a sudden, Tanai having a moment, my daughter having a moment where, let's say she took a bath and then she came out of the bathroom and said, "Hey, I wrote a poem." And we're like, "You wrote a poem? Read it for us." And then she's like, "Oh, I can't read it in front of you guys. I'm too shy." "Okay, we'll go in the kitchen and you read it from the living room and we'll just listen from there." And then her having the guts to share this poem, and then us hearing this poem and just being like waterworks because it was so insightful, and just realizing, wow, this woman, this young woman is amazing, and we are so lucky to get to witness her unfolding, regardless of how messy. And in the messiness, the chaos, there was one thing that hit me, which is that I realized that chaos is self-organizing. And when you realize this, that chaos is self-organizing, you can position yourself wherever chaos takes you in a way where you can be of service to chaos. You can hold space for chaos. You can direct chaos. And although there's a part of you there that feels like you're just being reflexive, reactive, when you choose to position yourself wherever the chaos sends you, you actually become deliberate, responsive. And there you find your power. You find, again, this sense of, I have control over a few things. And those few things, although they are a small rudder on this massive ship in this massive storm, I can influence it. And thus, I'm going to at least try.